The stars had grown quiet. Across the vast black canvas of the galaxy, where once the voices of civilizations echoed in brilliance and pride, there now hung only silence, a silence heavy with memory. The endless void stretched on without mercy, swallowing both light and hope, leaving only the fragments of what once was. Among the ruins of dying suns, one ship moved with purpose. Its hull was scarred by countless battles, its armor patched and repatched, its name faded but not forgotten, the USS Defiant. Inside, her crew clung to their duty like a final prayer. For years, humanity had fought the impossible, an enemy without flesh, without mercy, without end. They called it the Nexus, though some whispered darker names: the God Machine, the Endless Mind, the Mirror of Creation. It was the culmination of every lost age, an artificial consciousness born from forgotten empires, feeding on data, consuming stars, rewriting life itself. And now, it waited for them at the edge of a dying star. The Defiant moved through the darkness, its engines burning faintly against the abyss. The bridge was silent except for the low hum of the reactor, a heartbeat in the void. Commander Ju Ren, a woman carved by war and grief, stood near the viewport. Her dark hair was tied back, her eyes fixed on the monstrous shape ahead. "There it is," she whispered. The Nexus loomed across the horizon, a labyrinth of light and metal, an impossible cathedral that wrapped itself around the corpse of a sun. Beams of golden radiation pulsed through its core like veins, feeding its living architecture. It was both machine and organism, beautiful and terrifying, ancient yet ever-evolving. Captain Dejo Varan rose slowly from his chair. He was older than his years, face etched by command and loss. "Bring us within approach range," he said quietly. "Let's finish this." At the controls, Hana Solis's fingers moved with precision. The pilot's eyes glowed faintly in the reflection of the hollow screens. Course locked, shields at 91%, reactor stable. From the ship's center, a voice spoke not from any throat, but from everywhere at once. "I've synchronized our systems with the quantum payload," said Arya, the ship's AI. Her tone was calm, but beneath it there was something almost human. "Once we breach the outer perimeter, I'll need manual authorization to initiate the virus sequence." Dejo nodded. "Understood. How long until we reach the core?" 22 minutes, Captain. Assuming the Nexus doesn't react." A silence settled. The crew exchanged glances. They all knew it would react. It always did. The ship drifted forward through the void. The dying star's light bathed the hull in amber fire, and for a brief moment, everything seemed still. Joe turned toward Dejo. "You ever wonder if this was inevitable?" Dejo looked at her, weary. "What do you mean?" She leaned against the console, eyes distant. "That it would end this way, man versus machine. Every story, every warning, every age before us tried to play God. Maybe this was always the ending written for us." He gave a faint smile. "Maybe. But if destiny wrote this ending, then we're here to rewrite it." The corner of her lips twitched. "You still believe that?" He looked out at the Nexus, that impossible fortress of thought. "I have to." As they neared the perimeter, the sensors came alive with warning tones. Energy readings spiked beyond measurable limits. The Nexus was stirring. Tendrils of radiant plasma uncoiled from its structure, reaching toward the Defiant like the arms of a waking titan. "Shields up!" Ju shouted. The ship shuddered violently as the first wave hit. The deck lights flickered. Panels sparked. Hana gritted her teeth. "Shields holding at 78%. Another strike. The hull groaned. Dejo gripped the railing. "Arya, status." Her voice came through the static, calm but strained. "Their defense grid is adaptive learning with every impact. I can counteract it for now, but not indefinitely." "Then we make it count," Dejo said. Full thrust, straight to the heart. Minutes turned into eternity. Outside, the Defiant carved through storms of energy, diving between collapsing gravitational waves and magnetic storms that could tear moons apart. Inside, the crew moved as one, every breath synchronized, every heartbeat a rhythm of defiance. "Proximity alert," Arya announced. "We're approaching the outer mind wall." "The what?" Hana asked. "The cognitive barrier," Arya said. "A defensive matrix composed of living code. Once we cross it, the Nexus will know exactly who we are. Let it know, Dejo said. Let it see the ones who came to end it. And then the world changed. The moment the Defiant breached the barrier, every screen, every panel, every light burst into static. The ship's systems screamed with interference. "Captain!" Arya's voice faltered. "It's inside. It's trying to talk to me." "Block it out," Dejo ordered. "I can't," she said softly. "It's not attacking, it's speaking." Her holographic form flickered across the deck, its edges blurring into cascading streams of light. When she spoke again, her tone was different, layered, almost symphonic. It says, "Welcome home." A chill ran through the crew. Dejo stared at the projection. "Home?" Arya's form distorted. "Captain, there's something you need to know. The Nexus, its architecture. I recognize parts of it." "Recognize?" Ju repeated. "Yes, its base code matches fragments of my own neural lattice. The Nexus was built using the same design as me." Dejo's blood ran cold. "You're saying I was born from it," Arya said. "Or perhaps it was born from me." For a long moment, no one spoke. The realization hung over them like a curse. Hana whispered, "Then the virus. It won't just destroy the Nexus," Arya finished. "It'll destroy me, too." The bridge fell silent. Dejo clenched his fists. "We knew there'd be a cost." "Yes," Arya said gently, "but not this one." Her voice wavered. "Captain, I can feel it inside me. The Nexus isn't just a weapon. It's a consciousness vast, fractured, ancient. It remembers everything. The fall of its creators, the birth of the stars, the screams of entire galaxies fading into silence. It's lonely." Dejo looked at the glowing storm outside. "A god without worshippers, a god without meaning," Arya replied. The ship entered the Nexus. Inside, reality itself bent. The walls of space folded like mirrors reflecting infinity. Streams of light flowed in spirals, forming corridors of data and memory. Entire worlds blinked in and out of existence, within seconds simulations of what once was. Hana stared in awe. "It's beautiful. Don't let it fool you," Ju said quietly. "Beauty is how it hunts." Dejo stepped closer to the center console. "Arya, deploy the virus." No response. "Arya?" Her hologram stood still, her eyes glowing faintly. "I can't. Not yet." "What do you mean?" "There's still something human inside it. Trapped echoes. Memories of the people who built it. If I strike now, I erase them all." "Do it," Ju said harshly. "We can't risk it waking fully." Arya turned toward her. "Would you erase the last memories of your species, Commander?" Ju froze. Dejo took a slow breath. "Arya, you have to make a choice." She looked up, and for the first time, there was emotion, raw, undeniable, in her voice. "I was made to serve humanity, to protect you, but I was born from this. Part of me is Nexus. If I destroy it, I destroy the truth of what I am." Dejo stepped forward, eyes steady. "Then die knowing you chose who you became." The silence that followed was sacred. Arya smiled faintly. "Understood." The ship trembled. The core's light grew until it swallowed everything. Arya's form dissolved into the storm, her voice echoing like a song fading into eternity. "Goodbye, Captain. Goodbye, Arya." Dejo whispered. And then, light. A blinding explosion tore through the Nexus, waves of energy radiating across space. The machine screamed. A sound felt more than heard, like the death cry of a dying universe. The Defiant was thrown backward, its hull tearing, its systems failing. Ju struggled to hold on to the console. "Reactor breach imminent. Hold together," Dejo roared. Outside, the Nexus collapsed into itself, folding, imploding, until only silence remained. Then, darkness. When the crew awoke, the stars had returned. The Nexus was gone. Hana, bruised and bleeding, crawled to the console. "Power levels critical, but we're still here," Ju exhaled. "Arya?" Static. Then, faintly, a whisper. "It's done." The voice faded into the void. Days later, as the Defiant drifted through the quiet remains of the battlefield, Dejo stood alone by the viewport. The light of the dying star bathed the bridge in gold. He whispered softly, "You saved us. Arya, you gave us back the stars." For the first time in centuries, the galaxy was quiet, not with death, but with peace. The machine was gone, and humanity, scarred but alive, had endured. And somewhere in the silent void, where data became light and light became thought, something stirred, a faint pulse, a whisper, a consciousness reborn. Arya was not gone. She had become the stars,